Video is brought to you by BetUS. Use promo code Iceman. You're going to get 125% deposit bonus, matching your initial deposit. All the other promo codes on their website is a split between casino and sports. If you use promo code Iceman, that's 125% all sports. Only available in US, Canada, and Europe. Now, great card coming up. Thiago Maheta Santos takes on Jamahal Hill. Let's get straight to it. Straight to the point. First fight on the card that we're starting with is Jason Witt takes on Josh Quinlan. Jason Witt, much more experienced, 19 wins, 8 losses. However, he's not the greatest fighter, even though he does have a win over Bryan Bam Bam Barberena in 2021, which was last year. Josh Quinlan is a guy they're definitely much more high on. He's a guy who's went 5-0 in his amateur career, and he's currently 5-0 as a professional. Now, at 29 years of age, I think he should get it done over the 35-year-old Jason Witt. And considering he's a big favorite, odds makers see it the same way I do. So we're going with Josh Quinlan on this one. Up next, Bryan Battle, Takashi Sato. Bryan Battle, huge favorite. I don't know if I agree with that. Do I think he's going to win? He should probably get a win, but it's going to be much more closely contested than they're giving Takashi Sato credit for. Takashi Sato is a good fighter. Now, Bryan Battle, on the other hand, he has only had one loss in his MMA career. That was an armbar in 2019 to Nicholas Martino. Ever since then, he's been on a roll. He's had, I think, 5 or 6 straight wins. And if you include his wins on The Ultimate Fighter, which they don't count as professional fights, but they should because you're fighting professional fighters. They're just not regulated by the Athletic Commission, so they're not put as professional fights. However, I do count those. And if you count those, he's like on a 7 or 8 fight win streak, which is pretty impressive. So I think he should get it done against Takashi Sato. So, yeah, Takashi Sato, on the other hand, he's only losing to pretty good guys. Like his last fight was actually Ice Pick. I took Gunnar Nelson to beat him in his return. Gunnar Nelson, one of my favorite fighters. Might not be the best fighter in the world, but he's one of my favorites. And before that, he lost to Miguel Baeza by arm triangle choke. So he's fighting top guys, before that. He beat Jason Witt, who's fighting earlier on the card, and he lost to Bilal Muhammad. So 3 losses in his last 4 fights. I mean, Bryan Battle should run away with it. So I'm taking Bryan Battle. Even over 1.5 on this one's a good bet as well. Over 1.5, not a bad bet. But Bryan Battle should get it done. Now, the biggest mismatch on the card, Terrance McKinney. They really wanted him to beat Drew Dober. He didn't. We bet against it. We took Dober. Dober knocked him out in the first round. Now, Terrance McKinney is a really good fighter. Even before that Dober fight, he was looking good. He even had Dober hurt. Now, he's fighting Eric Gonzalez, who's not the greatest fighter. Let's just say that. He's coming off a loss, a knockout loss to Jim Miller, who's like 40 years old now. So, if you're getting finished by Jim Miller, I think Terrance McKinney is just going to slice through you, which odds makers, see it the same way. He's minus 900 on my gambling site. I just looked. He's minus 1,000. So they expect him to murder Eric Alves. Up next in the middleweights, we got Sam Alvey. Smiling Sam, can't stand this guy, against Michal Oleksiejczuk, the Polish dude. Can't pronounce his last name. Now, Sam Alvey, he's on a 7-fight losing streak. This guy hasn't won a fight, I believe, since like 2018 or something. 7-fight losing streak, so I don't think anyone's taking him to win. I think you're out the door now. You lose this fight, you're gone. No way UFC's going to sign you. Re-sign you. You're gone after this. So I think that's the end of Sam Alvey. He's taking on Mikel. Looks whatever. who's looked really good. His last fight he did lose, but it was a close fight to Dustin Jacoby. Dustin Jacoby's coming off that vicious first round knockout over Daun Jung. I'm telling you, Michal is for good. He's really good. He looked really good in that fight with Dustin Jacoby, and before that, he's coming off 2 straight wins. So I think this should be an easy win for the Poland, because Smiling Sam Alvey just sucks, dude. Up next, Sergei Spivac takes on Augusto Sakai. Now, Sergei Spivac in his last 5 fights has 4 wins, 1 loss. That 1 loss coming to Tom Aspinall, of course. And in his last fight, most notably, he finished Greg Hardy pretty easily. Now, he's taken on Augusto Sakai. Augusto Sakai was a guy they were pretty high on when he came into the UFC. I mean, he was like 10-1, I believe. His only loss was to Czech Congo. He had like 5 straight wins in the UFC, and then he ran into Alistair the Ream Overeem, who finished him late in the fight, and then after that hasn't looked the same. Got finished early against Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and he got knocked out viciously in his last fight against Tai Tuivasa. So in his last 4 fights, he's only got 1 win, and it's going to be hard for me to take Augusto Sakai, especially I hate betting guys who just got viciously knocked out like that. So I'm going Sergei Spivac all day. Next, Kamaru Usman's brother, Muhammad Usman. He's like Kamaru Usman on steroids, fights at heavyweight. If you guys know, Dontel Mays fought last UFC, holds a win over Muhammad Usman. It was 4 years ago, but it is what it is. Not impressive. Brandon Sales beat Muhammad Usman in 2021 in the PFL, but he did go on the Ultimate Fighter, got 2 straight wins. One was a split decision win over Eduardo Perez. Not impressive. So even though you're Kamaru Usman's brother, doesn't mean you can fight like Kamaru Usman. Zac Pauga, the Ripper. This guy was very impressive in his amateur career. Went 4-0, 3 finishes out of his 4 fights, and he's 5-0 as a professional. Now, if you count his wins on the Ultimate Fighter, he'd be 7-0, and those are 2 professional fighters, so you should count them. I think he should easily dominate Muhammad Usman in this one, so I'm going with Zach all day. Even though I didn't really tune into the Ultimate Fighter this one, I usually do, but I've been liking the Contender Series a lot more. I think it's better, and if you're going to have, Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena coaches, I'm definitely not tuning in. Make it Kobe and Jorge, I'll tune in, or, Connor and Nate, that'd be funny. Or like, even someone else, like even a Hamzat and like a Usman, that'd be better than Juliana and Amanda, so I didn't really tune in for that. Now, we got Jeff Neal takes on Vicente Luque. Great matchup in the welterweight division. I think Vicente Luque, I bet against him his last fight. Most people were in shock when I took Bilal Muhammad to beat him. They thought he was going to get murdered. But I knew it was a bad matchup for Vicente Luque. The grappling of Bilal Muhammad. He's going to have a hard time with guys who are better grapplers than him. I think Vicente Luque should absolutely dominate Jeff Neal everywhere. He's a better striker, and he's better on the ground. And Jeff Neal's not really a grappler. I know you guys are going to be like, oh, Stephen Thompson beat Vicente Luque. He did. But Stephen Thompson is like 57-0 as a kickboxer. He can do that, pick guys apart, stick on the outside, and beat guys that way. So I think Vicente Luque should easily get it done against Jeff Neal. Just better everywhere. And Jeff Neal's going to have a hard time striking with Luque. And that's Luque coming off a loss, so he's going to be angry. Up next in the main event, Thiago Santos versus Jamahal Hill. Thiago Santos, if this fight was 8 years ago, I would have took Thiago Santos probably, but this fight is not 8 years ago. This fight is Thiago Santos, age 38. He's going to have a hard time with Jamahal Hill. Jamahal Hill, he's a really good striker. He's coming off a vicious knockout over Johnny Walker and Jimmy Crute. Now, if this was against a jiu-jitsu guy or a better grappler, like a Paul Craig, Glover Teixeira, even a Magomed Ankalaev, that's going to give Jamahal some problems. Jamahal is a really good striker. That being said, Thiago Santos, he does have a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he doesn't really use it. He doesn't really strike. He doesn't really use his grappling. He likes to strike. He's got vicious knockout wins over a lot of guys. However, if you've seen his fight against John Jones, he blew out both of his knees. Ever since that loss to John Jones, he just hasn't looked the same. Lost to Glover Teixeira, lost to Rakic. Yeah, he beat Johnny Walker, but that's Johnny Walker that has not looked the same. And it was a decision 5-rounder. And then his last fight, he got dominated by Magomed Ankalaev, lost every round. Maybe he had that one round that he knocked him down or whatever. But Jamahal Hill, way better. As a striker, I think he's way better, hits harder. Thiago Santos, just too old, so I go Jamahal Hill all day on this one. I think that's going to be the end of Thiago Santos. I think you're probably going to see him retire after this one. So that's your picks for UFC Santos versus Hill. Yeah, let me know if you guys are feeling it. If you guys want to see my bet, this is my bet. I'm parlaying Vicente Luque, and I'm parlaying him with Jamahal Hill. If you take him right now, you're going to more than double your money. I'm taking it early. I took it right now. That's the only bet I've placed so far. Jamahal Hill parlayed with Vicente Luque, more than double your money. I can guarantee you both those odds will change. Guarantee it. So if you're going to take it soon because the odds are only going to get worse. Out.